friend, welcome to this video. So let's talk about desk setups. I'm sure if you spend a lot of your time at your desk, you'll want it to be a nice space for you to focus. Undoubtedly, if you go into YouTube and search desk setups, you'll see so many different videos. A lot of the creators you'll see have very fancy stuff, very expensive stuff, a lot of different gadgets and little things which maybe you won't need, maybe a lot of people don't need, but they are handy, convenient, and probably fit for that person. For me, I tend to shy away from the more expensive things and see what I can make do with. If it's something that really is going to change my whole setup and help with something, then I'm much more willing to spend the money. But I will do a bit of research first before I dive in and buy something relatively expensive. I guess you just have to find what works for you. I do like a clutter-free space, more minimalistic space. Still feel that I have probably a bit too much stuff and I could get rid of some things, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. I quite like my desk setup. There's always room for improvement, but the key takeaway is to don't overspend. Don't try to get too much too soon, especially when you watch a lot of these YouTube videos. A lot of the stuff in some of the videos costs exorbitant amount. Just be careful not to overspend and, spend within your means. Don't worry about trying to get everything at once. You can build it up over time, see what you need, try things, research things, see what's better, and over time you'll find what works for you and you won't have to spend all of that money all at one go. Definitely having a nice desk setup that you enjoy, that you like coming to, definitely helps for work, especially if you spend most of your day, if not the majority of your day, at your desk. You do want it to be something nice, something that you enjoy, something that you sort of take pride in. So yeah, try to make it nice, comfortable, but specifically for you. I have a really nice standing desk. I mean, it's not a branded one, but it's really a nice desk, I think so. Build quality is really good, and yeah, it really works well. It has these presets that you can set, for sitting, standing at certain positions. So at a push of the button, it just moves to the specific position that you've programmed it to. And you can still, with the arrows, move it up and down if you need to. I actually bought this secondhand, so it turned out to be relatively cheap compared to other standing desks. It does have a lot of the cables somewhat exposed around it, but it does have this sort of cage type thing at the back, which you can fit all your adapters and all your cables, you can run them through there, which it does make quite a difference. So for me, I think it's all right. So ideally, it would be great if all the cables sort of covered and kind of a lot more hidden. I mean, they are relatively hidden unless you look under the desks. I have used a lot of string just to tie loose ends of the cables here and there, so I think that made a big difference. I have two adapters and then, everything just plugs from there. This is good because I just run one extension to the wall so that, when the desk moves up and down, nothing gets pulled or pushed or anything like that. I do like my whiteboards. They're great for just jotting things down and having things written that you can look at constantly, or, things that you need to do, and then you can just rub them out, replace them, or whatever the case is, which is really nice. I have two on the wall, which I use, and as well as one just on my desk, somewhat like a notepad, but it's a nice quick way to jot things down, and then you can always rub it out and you don't need to waste paper like that. On the other side, I have another desk just with a couple of things, a basic air humidifier, which is really nice, as well as this USB fan. When it was really hot, it did make a nice difference just to have a little fan going. It's relatively cheap, nothing too expensive or fancy. A small cabinet to keep all my documents or whatever the case is. My mouse is one of the Red Dragon mice. Yeah, I love it because of all the shortcuts. One of my videos where I talk about all the shortcuts and if it can really speed up your workflow. If you click the link here, you can check that out. It is a wired mouse. I guess would be ideal if it was Bluetooth, but not such a big deal. I also did another review on a left-handed trackball mouse as well as a trackpad. and those two links will pop up here as well if you're interested. The laptop and the screen is from my work, so that's quite cool. The laptop is quite a good Dell. The screen is, I think it's a 27 or 28 inch screen. With the monitor, I just left the monitor stand on it. It makes for a nice little stand, which has my Lego men on it. It would be nice to have one of those fancy curved monitors, those widescreen ones, but for now I think this is really good and it serves my purpose. I guess I'll look into getting a bigger screen at some point. I opted for one of the cheaper desk monitor light mounts. The major difference that I find is just that, you know, with the bit more expensive one like the Xiaomi one, you get that little dial that you can use to change up the light and switch it on and off. Whereas this one, it has everything built in on the actual light at the top. So with the touch of your finger, you can increase or decrease the brightness as well as change the mode and switch it on and off. So for me, I think it was pretty worth it and it does the job well. So no need to have spent that much more. Then I have this little phone stand, which is quite nifty. I find that this specific one is a lot better than some of the others where, you know, you can actually use it while it's on the stand and you can tilt it to whichever position that you want, which is quite nice. The keyboard I use is one of the Logitech ones. I really find it to be really comfortable. The buttons, everything, it's just really top notch. The two great things that I really love about it, the first thing is that it's Bluetooth, so no wiring, and with a switch of a button you can switch to 3 different devices, so there's no need to, you know, repair with each device and that sort of thing. Just by pressing a button you can switch between devices. And the second thing is this kind of like phone stand at the back that it has, so you know, you can put your phones there, even a tablet, whatever the case is. It's a nice extra phone stand, which is really cool. I have my little fidget spinner, which helps in times of thinking. Then I have these 2 monitor mounts and a laptop mount, which I got recently, and I must say it really makes a huge difference having the laptop off the desk. It frees up a bit of space, but it just feels better. It feels less cluttered, or it feels like there's more space, if that makes sense. I'm using 2 monitor mounts just because I think the spacing wise it's a lot easier. The laptop monitor mount does come with another extension mount for the screen, so you can have them on one sort of pole. I already had the monitor mounted and set up, so I just left it like that. Both were relatively inexpensive. The monitor mount I got on special, so that worked out quite well, and then the laptop mount wasn't too bad either. I'll put the cost of everything in the description of the video, so have a look at that if you're interested to know how much all these things cost. I used a bit of wood here just to be able to raise up my monitor. It was a little bit low and it was already at the highest level that it could go on the monitor mount pole. I just threw in some of these planks of wood just to raise it up a bit more, and it makes a big difference. Then I have these 2 cool desk pads which are really nice, both from work. They both have timelines on, you know, the company as well as one of the projects I was on, so really love those. It has a nice touch and a nice feel when you work in there. Then in terms of just some other cables, which may not look so good, but I feel like it's kind of out of the way underneath the laptop, which is nice. But I have this little USB extension thing which has a number of USB ports, and you know, I have various different connections, so micro USB I think it is, and the USB-C, as well as the Samsung watch charger, all fits in there. And then for my feet, I just have an old yoga mat that I rolled up. I think it serves the purpose well. I keep my feet on them and it's cushioned well. Then I have this chair. It's a decent chair, not such one of those ergonomic chairs, but it's nice that it has this headrest which is adjustable. I added in this back support mechanism, which I find quite useful. But what I really like about it is that the armrest can be, you know, put up and down as you need. Another thing is that the size of the base, it's big enough so that I can sit, you know, cross-legged or in a sort of hero pose. I can keep switching up my sitting positions as well, so I really like that about the chair. There's a video here on some of the different desk sitting positions that I use if you'd like to check that out. So yeah, so that's my desk setup. Nothing too fancy. I think it works well. Could definitely use with some fancy snazzy upgrades, but I'm quite happy with it. I really enjoy it. I think there's no need to go too fancy if it doesn't make too much of a difference to you And again, as I said, like, keep within your budget, keep within your means, don't overspend on these things. I think appreciative of each stage that you have, and with each progression that you make, enjoy each part of it. If you have any recommendations or any cool things that you have on your desk that we could all benefit from, please do post them in the comments below. But otherwise, I think that's a wrap. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.